Now, your Stormtracker 13 forecast first, sponsored by Tidelands Health.
Warm and humid weather across the area today. Some places did make it into the 90s, and we have seen a few isolated showers and thunderstorms. One thunderstorm right now across northern parts of Chesterfield County. Just to the north of Chesterfield is severe. We could see winds gusting to 60 miles per hour with this. It's moving off to the east right along the North Carolina state line, so that'll be moving north of Cheraw, northern parts of Marlborough County as well with that storm. The rest of us, however, just partly cloudy, a warm, muggy night in the 70s, and it is going to heat up again for tomorrow. I'll let you know if we'll see a chance for thunderstorms tomorrow coming up in a few more minutes.
News 13 at 5 starts now.
A good evening to you, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Bob Gbag.
And I'm Nicole Boone. First at 5, breaking news as Horry County Police investigate human remains found that are connected to the disappearance of a Murrells Inlet man.
We have News 13's Sabrina Shutters live right now in the Arcadian Shores area. It's just north of Myrtle Beach city limits, and she has more tonight about where those remains were found. Sabrina?
An Horry County police officer responded to this RV park Friday, and the officer found a human hand. Now, people at the park that spoke with the officer told him that they went under the residence and found a large plastic bag, cut a hole in the bag, but did not finish opening it. Following this, an Horry County officer, CID, and crime scene did respond. Again, Horry County spokesperson Kelly Moore tells us these uncovered remains are related to the missing persons investigation for Hubert Clodfelter. I will have more details on how this investigation is related to the Clodfelter case at 6 and 11. For now, please stay with us for continuing updates on air, online, and on our app. Reporting live near Arcadian Shores, Sabrina Shutters, News 13.
New tonight, our news partner, South Strand News, reports that Irene Clodfelter lied to both police and family about her husband, Hubert Clodfelter's whereabouts. Neighbors in the area did not want to go on camera, but say they haven't seen Mr. Clodfelter in years. The last time anyone in the neighborhood saw him was at a New Year's Eve party about 2 years ago. They described him as having a larger-than-life personality and couldn't believe his wife, Irene, is suspected in his disappearance. Irene Clodfelter is facing 2 charges of obstructing justice in Georgetown County. As the story develops, we'll bring you the very latest online at WBTW.com. A man is in custody after a shooting in Lake City. It happened at the McDonald's Sunday night around 10 p.m. on Ron McNair Boulevard. News 13's Annie Mapp is live from across the street at that restaurant where it's located. And Annie, you say the suspect will have a bond hearing soon.
Nikki, that's right. Damian Muldrow of Lake City was charged with attempted murder and possession of a weapon during a violent crime. He is now being held at the Florence County Sheriff's Office and will have a bond hearing tomorrow morning. The victim was a McDonald's employee. Chief Kip Coker with the Lake City Police Department says Muldrow shot at the victim inside of the McDonald's and then went out the front door. The victim did not face any life-threatening injuries but was taken to a local hospital. Muldrow was located in Sumter at around 5:30 this morning and was then booked into the Florence County Sheriff's Office. Police are still unsure on whether the suspect and the victim knew each other.
I think what they need to do to have more police present nearby that try to curb some of these incidents that are happening. And I don't think people have to understand that this is a place that everybody go and bring their children. And it's very bad that when you can't go in a place and sit your children down and have a nice meal without somebody coming to shoot up the place.
The South Carolina Law Enforcement Division is working with Lake City to investigate the case. Coming up on News 13 at 6, what regular McDonald's customers are now afraid of. Live in Lake City, Annie Mapp, News 13.
Thanks, Andy. Meanwhile, a teenager charged for a deadly hit and run last week in Horry County is out of jail tonight. Ashley Benedetti is 18 and lives off Highway 544 near Myrtle Ridge. She's out of jail on a $50,000 bond. She's charged tonight with hit and run with death. Authorities say late last Thursday night on Highway 544 near the 31 interchange, Benedetti hit and killed moped driver Ronald Wise and did not stop.
Police continue to search for a missing Conway man. They want to find 38-year-old Sean Henry Roberts. He was last seen Thursday. He may be driving a black van. Some say they have actually seen Roberts in the Myrtle Beach area. You can take a closer look at the photos online right now at WBTW.com. And if you have any information, call police.
We're still working to find out more about a deadly motorcycle crash that happened in Marlboro County. That happened at around 6 o'clock last night on Pea Bridge Road, close to the state line. The Highway Patrol says the driver of the motorcycle went off the road and hit a ditch. Troopers say that the driver was wearing a helmet. The rider's name, though, has not been officially released.
One person has been shot in Robeson County. The sheriff's office says it happened on Path Road in Fairmont. The victim had a gunshot wound and was taken to the hospital. Anyone with information is asked to call the Robeson County Sheriff's Office.
The Carolina Forest Boulevard widening project begins today, and the contractor for that project, Southern Asphalt. The contract calls for the road to be finished in 700 days, and that would be mid-May of 2021. The work should cost close to $55 million.
Two recall alerts for you right now, as the first is Ragu. It says some of its jars of pasta sauces could have pieces of plastic in them. So far, there have been no reports of injuries or complaints. This is a voluntary recall. The recall involves specific varieties: chunky tomato, garlic and onion, Old World style traditional, and Old World style meat sauces. You can find more about the recall online right now at WBTW.com. And more than 4,600 cases of Pillsbury Best Bread flour are being recalled for possible E. coli contamination. This follows similar recalls from both Aldi and King Arthur flour. All three brands are made by ADM Milling. There are no reports of anyone getting sick.
News 13 on-time traffic sponsored by Joy Law Firm. Just call Joy.
In our traffic this evening, moving pretty smoothly across the Grand Strand and PD. No problems on 501 right now, moving quickly in both directions, not even really slowing down much. 544 is pretty clear as well. Drive times right now along the Grand Strand. The 501 from the bypass to Carolina Forest will take 5 minutes, and 17 in both directions moving at almost 40 miles per hour. In and around the Florence area, things looking okay. One hit and run accident there on Autumn Lane, really not causing many slowdowns in that area, and it's looking okay through downtown as well. Drive times right now on I-95 currently moving at 74 miles per hour. Palmetto from 5 Points to Irby Street will take 5 minutes, and 52 from 76 to I-95 will take 8.
Well, some lawmakers worry that there will be no more rural hospitals under the Democrats' Medicare for All health care plan.
News 13 Washington correspondent Anna Warnicki reports on why.
Imagine a day in your life under Medicare for All.
Texas Republican Congressman Kevin Brady imagines it would be a disaster.
Many Americans will pay more, wait longer for health care, and get worse care than you receive now.
The House Ways and Means Committee is taking a closer look at a Democratic plan for universal health care, or Medicare for All. The Democrats' bill would cover medical care, vision, dental, and mental health for all Americans. Kansas Republican Ron Estes is not a fan.
We're looking at a one-size-fits-all, kind of the same approach that we've been doing with the government-run health care.
And Estes says, as written, the Democrats' plan would be a death sentence to rural hospitals.
If they're taking a 40% cut in reimbursements, there will be more hospitals closed because of that, and we just can't have that.
That's also a concern for Massachusetts Democrat Richard Neal.
Many of us have hospitals in our districts that are now among the largest employers in our state or region.
I support it, not because it's perfect.
But other Democrats, like Texas Congressman Lloyd Doggett, say Americans need Congress to pass this bill.
Because it represents real progress in presenting a bold idea to address the shortcomings in our system.
The committee says they plan to hold another hearing in the next few weeks. In Washington, I'm Anna Warnicki.
Today marks the 4-year anniversary of the Charleston church massacre that set off a national debate about gun violence. 9 people died. State Senator Clemente Pinckney, Cynthia Graham Hurd, Susie Jackson, Ethel Lance, DePayne Middleton Doctor, Tawanza Sanders, Daniel Simmons, Sharonda Coleman Singleton, and Myra Thompson all lost their lives in that June shooting in 2015. Dylan Roof confessed to killing them. He told police he hoped the massacre would ignite a race war. A federal jury found Roof guilty and sentenced him to death in 2017. He later pleaded guilty to the state charges. Happening tonight, a documentary on the Charleston church shooting premieres. The Emmanuel 9 documentary takes you inside the homes of the victims' family members. It also takes place and was filmed in the Emmanuel AME Church. Academy Award winner Viola Davis and NBA player Steph Curry are the executive producers. Emmanuel only airs tonight and again Wednesday night nationwide. Showings in our area are at the theater at Coastal Grand Mall and Regal Swamp Fox 14 Theater in Florence. All of the proceeds from the documentary will go to the families of the victims and the survivors.
I want to see what I do affect the world, and I want to see the work I do. I want to see the progress along the way. So doing this right after high school, it just means a lot.
A signing ceremony today at the SIMT building at Florence Darlington Tech. 4 Hartsville High School graduates signed to work for Day & Zimmerman, a worldwide known construction company.
Well, still to come tonight, North Carolina state lawmakers are one step closer to allowing public colleges and universities to sell alcohol at games. Plus, you'll hear from a Carolina boy who fought off an intruder with a machete. And here's a live look on this Monday over Georgetown. You're watching News 13 at 5, and as always, it's local coverage you can count on.
From WBTW, Nicole Boone, Bob Jubeck, and Chief Meteorologist Frank Johnson. You're watching #1 News 13 at 5.
North Carolina is one step closer to allowing beer and wine sales at college games. The full Senate is expected to vote on the measure Monday night.
However, even if it passes tonight, it's still up to each of the UNC system schools to decide whether or not to allow beer and wine sales. Most of the schools in the system have said that they support the bill, saying it will give them more control. However, some critics say this raises concerns for binge drinking or more rowdiness in the stands. But a study commissioned by Indiana University earlier this year found game day incidents actually dropped at both Ohio State and West Virginia once alcohol sales were allowed there.
The university has committed that they will follow the letter of the law, which ABC has pretty strict guidelines.
Can also cause rowdiness. I already know, like the pre-games and the tailgates, people get pretty drunk. So adding more alcohol to the situation might not help much.
Well, that's in North Carolina and South Carolina. USC has not ruled yet if it will sell alcohol at games. The SEC has lifted a ban for alcohol sales at conference venues.
Great story here. A North Carolina boy fights off an intruder with a machete. It happened in Mebane, North Carolina. Authorities say 19-year-old Jatavian Hall entered the boy's home through a window. Braden Smith was on his phone with his mom when Hall pointed a pellet gun at the boy and told him to get into a closet. He hid, then pulled out a machete from the wall and hit the intruder.
I knew I had to act in the heat of the moment. Always have your kids prepared for anything.
Authorities rushed Hall to the hospital, where the story gets even more interesting. Hall managed to elude Orange County deputies at the hospital. He was in custody but managed to leave the hospital when discharged without a deputy by his side. Law enforcement and U.S. Marshals are now searching for him. Coming up, 3 campaign pollsters fired by President Trump after his 2020 kickoff. Why? Next on News 13.
And also coming up next, we got Frank's forecast for you, Frank.
A warm one today, and the humidity is back as well. That has led to a few isolated showers and storms. I'll let you know if that rain chance will be going up this week. Coming up next.
And now, here's your Storm Tracker 13 forecast.
Nice warm day across the area. Humidity has returned, and that has led to a few isolated showers and storms. Most of us have stayed dry, but that rain chance will be increasing over the next few days, mainly the pop-up late day storms. Not expecting a lot of rain or widespread rain like we saw last week, but at least we're going to have that chance. And today, so far, that chance has been western parts of the PD, Chesterfield County right now. Did have a few isolated showers closer to the coast earlier this afternoon, but they have all dissipated for now. Across Chesterfield County, extreme northern parts of the county north of Cheraw, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. Could see some winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour, perhaps some small hail, but it does look like the hail core is further off into North Carolina. This is all moving off to the east, so it will move into parts of Scotland County, maybe northern parts of Marlborough County over the next hour or so. Other than that, not going to see a whole lot as far as rain. Partly cloudy skies, a warm, muggy night. Temperatures staying in the 70s for our overnight lows. And tomorrow morning, we'll wake up to a lot of sunshine, a few clouds developing here or there, and a better chance for thunderstorms developing tomorrow afternoon. But even then, we're talking about hit or miss, where most of us will likely stay dry again for tomorrow. Heading out and about this evening, a few isolated storms across northern parts of our area, otherwise partly cloudy. By 7 o'clock, temperatures still in the low to middle 80s. It is going to be warm and temperatures only slowly falling into the 70s late night tonight. Out and about in Pamplico, 85 degrees by 7 o'clock, partly cloudy skies. Does look like a nice evening in Pamplico tonight. Headlines for tonight: warm and muggy overnight tonight. A few scattered thunderstorms around for tomorrow, and it's going to continue to heat up. In fact, most of us will be in the 90s on Thursday. Could even see some mid-90s with a round of thunderstorms coming through late in the day and Thursday night. That's going to be with a weak cold front that pushes through. But until that gets there, it's going to be high pressure offshore dominating our weather, giving us that southwest light wind and bringing back the humidity. Scattered showers and thunderstorms again for tomorrow, but not a lot of rain. Heading toward Wednesday, we'll see a mixture of clouds and sunshine. Slightly better chance for thunderstorms coming up during the afternoon hours on Wednesday, but even then they're going to be scattered. Not everybody's going to see the rain on Wednesday either. Our forecast for tonight: partly cloudy, warm and muggy, low to middle 70s for our overnight lows. A couple isolated showers or thunderstorms this evening. Otherwise, it'll stay dry overnight tonight. Tomorrow, we'll see a mixture of clouds and sunshine. Another warm, humid day. Mid 80s at the beaches, low 90s inland for tomorrow, and scattered thunderstorms. A slightly better chance for storms tomorrow than we saw today, but even then, most of us will stay dry tomorrow. At the beaches tomorrow, winds will be out of the southwest at 10 to 15, waves 2 to 3 feet. Our surf temperatures holding at 82 degrees. 7-day forecast doesn't show a whole lot of change over the next couple of days, staying warm and humid. Better chances for thunderstorms will be Wednesday, then again on Thursday. That cold front on Thursday is going to dry things out Friday, Saturday into the weekend. Not much of a cool down. Temperatures will stay in the 80s and 90s, and it is going to heat back up again heading into next week. Could be back into the mid-90s across the PD early next week with just a small chance for a shower or storm.
All right, Frank, thank you so much.
Well, President Trump fired 3 pollsters following the leak of internal polling to news organizations. Those polls from back in March show the president losing to former Vice President Joe Biden in some key 2020 battleground states. The president denies that. However, his campaign acknowledged that the polls are real, but still says the polls are incomplete and misleading and represent a worst-case scenario for voter turnout.
Democrats are almost singularly focused on finding somebody they think can beat President Trump. But as they game that out, Joe Biden's supporters really think that he can beat the president, and that's a big reason why he's on top.
President Trump officially kicks off his 2020 campaign with a rally tomorrow night in Orlando. There's some recent polls on the Democrat side. Count on complete coverage of election 2020 right here on News 13.
Coming up, how families can better afford summer camp thanks to a tax credit. We'll tell you what that credit is coming up next. And here's your live look over Myrtle Beach. We'll be right back.
Well, if you send your children to summer camp, you could get a tax credit, about $1,000 per child for up to 2 or more children, all depending on your income. And that's thanks to the Child and Dependent Care Credit. Summer day camps qualify, overnight camps, though, do not. You also must be working or actively looking for a job. Children also have to be younger than 13. The credit, though, will not kick in if there is a stay-at-home spouse. Well, this just into News 13. A Georgia man charged with murder in Horry County has been found guilty.
That's right. Jonathan Hillary is from Augusta. Timothy Buckley of Myrtle Beach went missing in September of 2016 and was found 6 weeks later off of Rodeo Drive across 501 from the Tanger outlets. Authorities say that Hillary killed him. A judge today agreed. He was found guilty of murder, armed robbery, and kidnapping. And you can read more about this case right now at WBTW.com.
And we'll keep you covered, and you got more coming up at 5:30.
Sure do. Coming up at 5:30, we'll tell you more about what we've learned about a shooting last night at McDonald's in Lake City. Plus, again, we'll have the latest on the investigation into the disappearance of a missing Murrells Inlet man and the human remains found that could be connected to that case. News 13 at 5:30 starts right after the break.
News 13 at 5:30 starts now.
Thanks for joining us. For more local coverage you can count on, I'm Nicole Boone. Megan is off today. First, the top 3 things you need to know right now at 5:30. Police say they have found human remains while investigating the disappearance of a missing Murrells Inlet man. Hubert Clodfelter was reportedly last seen in March. The remains were found near the Myrtle Beach Travel Park this weekend. Police do say the remains have to be tested before they are confirmed to be Clodfelter. His wife, Irene Clodfelter, is facing charges in both Horry and Georgetown counties. Our partners at South Strand News report she lied to police and family about her husband's whereabouts. You can read more about the disappearance and his wife's arrest online right now at WBTW.com or the News 13 mobile app, and count on us to keep you updated as we learn more. Second, we've learned the victim in last night's shooting at a Lake City McDonald's was an employee of the restaurant. This is according to Lake City Police Chief Kip Coker. He says the victim was shot when the suspect came around the counter inside the McDonald's. Damian Muldrow was arrested. He is charged with, among other things, attempted murder. You can read more about this right now at WBTW.com. And the third thing you need to know at 5:30, police continue to search for a missing endangered man. Sean Henry Roberts is from the Conway area. He was last seen on Thursday. Police reports suggest his vehicle's been seen multiple times around the north end beach accesses of Myrtle Beach and on Highway 501 near Seaboard Street. Call police with any information. You can also take a longer look at these pictures right now at WBTW.com.
And a warm day today. Many places made it into the 90s. It's hot right now in Florence at 96 degrees. Plus that humidity is a little bit higher. That will continue to build through the rest of the week. Mid-80s right now along the Grand Strand. Most of us have stayed dry so far today with a mixture of clouds and sunshine. There have been a few isolated showers and one thunderstorm right now across northern parts of Chesterfield into northern parts of Marlborough County. This has really weakened in the last 15 minutes. It was severe as it was moving through Chesterfield County. No more warnings on this. It has weakened and is no longer a dangerous thunderstorm. We'll continue to move off to the east across southern parts of North Carolina as well. Our forecast as we head through the evening hours, partly cloudy skies, warm and muggy in the 70s, heating back up again tomorrow. I'll have a look at if we're going to see any storms around tomorrow coming up in a few more minutes.
Today is a special day here at News 13. Our station is helping to rebuild a home devastated by Hurricane Florence as we participate in our company's Founders Day of Caring. News 13's Tori Gessner was in Bucksport to show us the repairs.
Every year, all of Nexstar's TV markets participate in Founders Day of Caring by volunteering in the community. This year, News 13 is repairing a home in this neighborhood that was flooded after Hurricane Florence. The homeowners reached out to South Carolina Catholic Charities after the water damaged their floors and their roof started leaking. With the help of local contracting companies, they were able to repair the roof. Now volunteers, some from News 13, are fixing the subfloor, laying down flooring, and doing the trimming on the home. SC Catholic Charities has been helping the family since the floodwaters rose 9 months ago.
Being able to see them in the beginning when you're handing them the food and water, and now when you're handing them the keys to their house, it's just so rewarding.
If you were affected by the flooding after Hurricane Florence and are looking for volunteers to repair your home, or if you want to become a volunteer, all of the information you'll need will be on our website, WBTW.com. Reporting in Bucksport, Tori Gessner, News 13.
In a News 13 follow-up, renovations at Coastal Carolina University's Brooks Stadium are just weeks away from being finished. Construction on the stadium started in 2016. It happened in 2 phases so the team could compete during football season. About 9,000 seats were to be added to Brooks Stadium. This brings the maximum capacity to right around 20,000. Athletic Director Matt Hogue says the football program is excited to start a season in a stadium that isn't under construction.
With this project and the enormity of us moving up to the FBS level with our competitive level with our football program, the highest in the country, and everything that we've worked hard on the last 3 years to reach this finish line, it's probably a little bit different level of satisfaction and fulfillment.
The Chanticleers will play their first game in the newly renovated stadium in just 75 days. The first event at the new stadium will be the 30th annual Conway National Bank Classic in August. Count on us to keep you updated. New at 5:30, we're hearing from a man who is suing Boeing, saying he's been routinely subjected to racist harassment while working at the Boeing plant in South Carolina in the Low Country. Curtis Anthony says his complaints about racist treatment were met with retaliation. He claims white coworkers even urinated on his desk and seat, and he says he also found a noose hanging above his desk.
This shouldn't be tolerated in America at this day and time. This is not 1819, this is 2020. And people should, regardless of color, they should say something against anything that's harmful against anyone.
Boeing admitted that a worker did hang a noose and confirmed that employee was fired. The company said in a statement that most of Mr. Anthony's allegations were never brought to the attention of management, giving the company no opportunity to investigate these claims. The single issue he did raise was dealt with promptly and in a fair manner. Anthony says Boeing is a great company to work for, but that no one should have to work in a stressful environment. Tonight, another person is recovering from a shark bite off the North Carolina coast. It's the third bite this month. An 8-year-old was attacked Sunday afternoon while swimming in open water. The child suffered bite wounds to his leg, but is expected to make a full recovery. Last week, a 19-year-old was bitten by a shark in the same county. And earlier in the month, a 17-year-old girl had to have her leg amputated when she was bit in Atlantic Beach, North Carolina. New tonight, a lawyer for a suspended South Carolina sheriff wants some indictments against him thrown out. In court today, the lawyer for suspended Greenville County Sheriff Will Lewis said the lack of names or details in the indictments hampers Lewis's defense. Among other things, Lewis is accused of using public money to facilitate an affair he had admitted to having. And President Trump is gearing up to kick off his 2020 campaign. His kickoff is tomorrow in Florida. People are already lining up for his rally. So far, Trump has competition from one other Republican, former Massachusetts Governor William Weld. 23 Democrats are running for the Democratic nomination, including former Vice President Joe Biden. You can count on coverage of the 2020 election right here on News 13. Happening now, Teacher Mondays at Topgolf. The special deals run every Monday until August. Teachers get 1 hour of free gameplay with 1 hour of gameplay purchased and can bring up to 5 guests to play with them in Myrtle Beach. To get over those Monday blues, let's go ahead and look ahead to next weekend. How about Movies in the Park in Conway? It starts this Saturday. It starts at dusk in Riverfront Park. You and the whole family can go to this for free. This weekend's movie is a good one, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And then on Wednesday, a Red Cross blood drive in Horry County. It's from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the County Government Building in Conway. The blood drive is open to everyone, and of course, there is still a critical need for type O blood across the country. On Thursday, a job fair in Horry County. It will be held at the historic Horry County Courthouse from 5 to 8 p.m. on 3rd Avenue in Conway. Different county departments, including Parks and Rec, the county libraries, fire rescue, police, and the sheriff's office are all hiring. Looking ahead, Myrtle Beach Police host a civilian response to active shooter event training. It's free and open to everyone who lives in the area. It happens on June 25th at 1 at the General Robert H. Reed Recreation Center. Coming up next, when a sentencing hearing will happen for a man accused of hate crimes in the deadly Charlottesville protest from 2017.
It's a child's formula and it's their lifeline. So why would you tamper with that?
Coming up, one mom's scare when she found out her baby's formula was contaminated with flour. And here's your live look over the Marsh Walk in Murrells Inlet. You're watching News 13 at 5:30. It's more local coverage you can count on. Across the nation, a sentencing hearing moved up for a white supremacist convicted after the Charlottesville riot. James Alex Fields Jr. was originally set to be sentenced on July 3rd. A court filing shows the hearing has been moved to June 28th. He pleaded guilty to 29 federal charges stemming from the 2017 white nationalist rally in Virginia. He drove his car into a crowd of anti-racism protesters during that rally. He faces life in prison. One woman was killed and dozens were injured. Boeing is apologizing to airlines and crash victims. The vice president said, "We are sorry for the loss of lives in the 737 MAX crashes in Indonesia and Ethiopia." Yesterday, the CEO said the company made a mistake in handling a problematic cockpit warning system before 2 deadly crashes. Dennis Mullenberg says the company's communication was not consistent, and that's unacceptable. Boeing is currently trying to win contracts and get orders after all 737s were grounded. A Florida mom is still in shock after she says she found flour inside a baby formula container from her local Publix that made her son sick. Our sister station, WFLA, reports now the FDA is investigating. Melanie Michael reports now from Tampa.
Ashley Friedrich still can't believe it happened.
It's a child's formula and it's their lifeline. So why would you Why would you tamper with that?
This new mom was horrified recently after she prepared a bottle for her son Jack, just 4 months old. Turns out the liquid she thought was Infamil formula wasn't. Instead, what she found in her little guy's bottle made him sick.
I just can't imagine tampering with a baby product. You know, I know there's so many scams out there.
Shortly after feeding him, her husband noticed that the liquid began to separate. He says he tasted it and immediately recognized what it was. Flour.
So the real worry for me was, what if it was worse? What if it was a cleaner? What if, you know, I could have just poisoned my kid? He could have had an allergic reaction.
Ashley tells Ed on Your Side she noticed the packaging was different that day on the formula. She remembers opening the 2 outer seals on the can and that the powder inside was not in a pouch like it normally is. She thought it was just a new form of packaging. This mom has a message for the person responsible.
They have a child's life in their hands. They have an innocent life. And this child is relying on me and my husband for survival.
Ashley alerted management at the Britton Plaza Publix in South Tampa, and the store reacted quickly.
They were launching their own investigation, and they were very concerned. So I was very happy with the fact that they did take my concerns to heart.
As for Ashley and Jack, she says she's not taking any chances.
Now we're more alert. When we buy stuff for him, we're going to have to examine it full on.
That was Melanie Michael reporting. Ashley says she is very pleased with Publix and how fast they acted. Publix released a statement to our sister station in Tampa saying, quote, "Food safety is our top priority. The incident was reported to the FDA for investigation. We checked the other lot and date codes for the remaining product, and they were all formula." Coming up, a look back at the life of fashion designer Gloria Vanderbilt after her death today at the age of 95.
Nice weather across the area today. A little bit warm. That humidity is starting to creep back up again as well. I'll let you know if this warm, humid weather will bring us rain coming up.
And now, here's your Storm Tracker 13 forecast.
After a nice, fairly comfortable weekend, that humidity starting to increase again today and will continue to increase over the next couple of days. That led to a few isolated showers and thunderstorms across the area. Most of those have wound down right now, but still looking at a few showers across northern parts of Chesterfield County, starting to pull away into North Carolina as well, western parts of Chesterfield County. Those storms were a little stronger earlier. They're starting to weaken and will continue to weaken through the evening hours. Temperatures outside right now, we're in the 80s, still holding into the 90s in a few areas. Big warm up today, and it will stay warm and humid through the rest of the week. Our forecast heading through the evening hours, expect the partly cloudy skies to continue, generally dry through the evening and overnight tonight, not expecting any rain, but it will be warm and muggy, staying in the 70s for our overnight lows. And tomorrow morning we'll wake up to some sunshine, a few clouds building and rolling in, staying dry through the morning hours, but we'll have the chance for a few scattered late day showers and storms. Better chance for rain tomorrow than we saw today. Our forecast in the Florence area tonight, we will see partly cloudy skies, temperatures in the 90s, cooling down into the 80s as we head through the evening hours, and then after midnight into the 70s, likely staying dry, but we'll have that slight chance for a shower through the evening, and then just partly cloudy, staying in the 70s tonight. It is going to be a warm night. Same thing along the Grand Strand, partly cloudy, 80s this evening, just a small chance for a shower, but most likely staying dry, and then into the 70s late night tonight, eventually getting down into the mid-70s tonight. High pressure offshore really controlling our weather. That's going to give us that chance for those scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day, but only scattered. Most of us will stay dry. Best chance for rain will stay back to our west, so we're looking at another warm, humid, but pretty nice day for tomorrow. The better chances for rain and thunderstorms this week will be coming Wednesday and then into Thursday. But for tonight, partly cloudy, a warm, muggy night, temperatures in the low to middle 70s. Any evening showers will be going away and generally staying dry overnight tonight. For tomorrow, expect a mixture of clouds and sunshine, a warm and humid day. High temperatures in the mid to upper 80s along the coast, low to maybe mid 90s inland areas, a lot like what we saw today. That humidity will be high, and that's going to lead to a better chance for showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, but still they're going to be scattered. Most places will stay dry again for tomorrow. 7-day forecast looking at that chance for rain along the beaches. Highest Wednesday, Thursday, hit or miss. Not everyone's going to see the rain. We do have a cold front that's going to come through late in the day and Thursday night. That's going to be generating that thunderstorm chance late Thursday, but that's also going to dry us out for Friday into the weekend. It will stay pretty warm, temperatures generally in the 80s and 90s. And if there is a brief cool down coming on on Friday, it's not going to last very long. Temperatures will be back into the 90s, some areas mid-90s by Sunday.
Summer is definitely here.
And the humidity is back too.
It is. All right, Frank, thanks so much. Well, designer and socialite Gloria Vanderbilt has died. The mother of CBS 60 Minutes contributor and CNN anchorman Anderson Cooper was 95 years old. She was born in 1924. Her father, Reginald Vanderbilt, was heir to the Vanderbilt fortune. She became known for her work as an actress and designer, best known for her work as a designer, as I said, and for her brand of designer jeans with a signature white swan label. Earlier this month, she was taken to the hospital with advanced stomach cancer that had spread. In a statement from CNN, Cooper remembered his mother as a painter, writer, designer, remarkable mother, wife, and friend, adding she was 95 years old, but ask anyone close to her and they'd tell you she was the youngest person they knew, the coolest and most modern. Vanderbilt died at her home, surrounded by family and friends. About 14 million kids attend camps every summer. Now the American Academy of Pediatrics is releasing a new report aimed at keeping kids safe and healthy. You may see camps begin to ask for proof of vaccinations, including meals. The CDC reports there have been, including measles, my apologies. The CDC reports there have been 1,022 cases of measles in 28 states so far this year, including in nearby states Georgia, Virginia, and Tennessee. There are no confirmed measles cases in North or South Carolina right now.
We've had some families that have said, okay, we're going to go and get the MMR vaccine. We've had other families that have said, you know what, I'd like a refund, and we're gonna find a different place.
A new American Academy of Pediatrics report on summer camp health and safety recommends campers be immunized on schedule and that camps eliminate non-medical exemptions for vaccines. Coming up on News 13 now at 9 a.m., a closer look at what health experts are recommending for camps and for you before you send your child off to camp. Today marks the 25th anniversary of the infamous O.J. Simpson Bronco chase. A manhunt for Simpson began shortly after he was charged with the murders of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend, Ronald Goldman. Within hours, authorities started the infamous slow chase of a white Bronco. After close to 9 months of court proceedings, Simpson was found not guilty of those killings. Right now, we want to go and check in with Bob to see what we have coming up at 6 o'clock. Hey, Bob.
Hey, Nicole. We have a lot coming up at 6, including the very latest in a shooting at a Lake City McDonald's that happened last night. We'll have a live report for you at 6. Plus, 4 years after the Charleston church shooting, we'll look at gun laws in South Carolina and also efforts to close the so-called Charleston loophole. And here's a live look over Florence on a Monday. Nicole has more News 13 at 5:30 in just a moment.
Target is apologizing for a glitch that brought checkout lines to a stop at stores over the weekend. The outage prevented cashiers from scanning merchandise or processing transactions on Saturday and Sunday. Target even closed some of its stores. Target says the outage was caused by an error made during regular system maintenance, and the issue is resolved. Well, soon one company leading the way for plant-based meat may soon begin to sell ground meat. Beyond Meat is developing a plant-based ground beef. It looks like beef and it's made to taste like beef, but it's made from a blend of pea, mung bean, and rice. It also has 20 grams of protein per serving, and it's set to hit some store shelves next Monday, June 24th. Prince Harry celebrated his first Father's Day this weekend. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex shared this photo of little Archie there on Instagram. Archie was born on May 6th. The Father's Day picture was captioned, "Happy Father's Day," and wishing a very special first Father's Day to the Duke of Sussex. Well, that's just precious, little Archie.
It is. He looks tiny.
He does look little. You know, they all start out that way, and then they grow up and be real big, and they're gone. All right. I hope you had a happy Father's Day, too.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Folks, that's going to do it for us right now. We'll see you back here in just a few seconds for News 13 at 6.